This video was created during the WGA SAG-AFTRA strike. It's vitally important to support the writers and actors involved if you at all consume media, let alone Star Wars. Link in the description if you want to donate directly to the cause. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, so there's this planet called Lothal, and on that planet is a kid, riffraff, street rat if you will, Ezra Bridger. One day, while stealing things from the Empire, which he loves to do, he runs into other guys stealing things from the Empire. There's Kanan, he's tall and a Jedi in hiding. Sabine, she's a Mandalorian. Garazeb Aurelius, they call him Zeb. Chopper, he's a little droid. And Hera, the brains of the operation, the pilot, the mom, and she's got a ship, the Ghost. After trying to steal from the guys stealing from the Empire, Ezra decides to join them, but not before Kanan notices that Ezra has the Force. So Kanan agrees to train Ezra, and totally learns just as much as he teaches from his student. The Ghost crew saves a bunch of Wookiee slaves from Kessel, and Kanan is forced to out himself as a Jedi to the Empire, calling not only Agent Kallus, who was originally chasing them down, but now also the Grand Inquisitor of the Inquisitorius. The gang goes on many adventures in Season 1, including meeting R2-D2 and C-3PO, meeting Lando Calrissian, meeting Yoda's voice, and meeting Luminara Unduli. Oh, wait, she's just a corpse used by the Empire to trap Jedi. Yikes. Eventually, Ezra makes a message that's sent out to the HoloNet calling to action people from around the galaxy to unite against the Empire, which catches the attention of the larger Rebel alliance that is forming. Kanan is captured, the crew heads to Mustafar to save him, and there Ezra and Kanan fight the Grand Inquisitor and kill him. He's definitely dead this time. They also finally meet their informant, who's been giving them information and missions under the name Fulcrum, and... oh hey look, it's Ahsoka. Season 1 ends with hope and happiness and a brighter future ahead for the Rebels, and... okay, so Season 2 starts with Ahsoka and the Rebel crew going back to Lothal and finding the Empire has ramped up its occupation tenfold. They try to form a plan of attack, and... holy shit, wait, who's that? Oh god, it's Darth Vader. Oh yeah, he was teased at the end of Season 1. He almost kills the entire crew, and Ahsoka is like, oh hey, he seems familiar. Weird. And then mind melds with him and passes out. Everyone's like, this guy means business. And Ahsoka agrees, and she sends the group to find one of her old army pals. It's Santa Claus. Nick Sant. Rex, and Wolf and Gregor. 3 old clones, old because they age rapidly, who fought the Empire, didn't have much success, and decided to retire to Dune and hunt sandworms. The spice must flow. Kanan is mad because the clones killed all his friends, family, and loved ones in the Clone Wars, but Rex is cool, and Kanan learns that over the course of the season. The crew run into 2 more Inquisitors as well, the 5th brother and the 7th sister. Ezra has some minor brushes with the dark side, I'm sure that's no big deal, and he also learns that he loves animals. He forms a particularly strong bond with a bunch of space whales named Purrgil. They're chill and eat gas, and also people sometimes, and can naturally use hyperspace, so that's cool. They also meet Princess Leia. Neat. Agent Kallus and Zeb get trapped on a moon together and fall in love. Okay, they don't fall in love, sorry shippers, but they do form a bond. Ezra has visions of his parents and thinks they're alive, but nope, they're straight up dead and died during a prison riot caused by his speech in Season 1. Yikes. But no time to worry about that. Ahsoka's worried about this Sith Lord guy, and they go to the Jedi Temple Kanan and Ezra visited in Season 1 to talk to Yoda again. Except this time, he shows himself through the projection, and oh god, he tells them to go to Malachor. So they do, saying goodbye to everyone in the process because they don't know if they'll be back. When they show up, they find a big old pyramid, and also Darth Maul. Yeah, he's also there, and he convinces Ezra to trust him, gives him a Sith holocron, and tells him to activate the big pyramid, which seems to be responsible for all the petrified bodies around them. Who'da thunk? While they're there, they also run into the Inquisitors from earlier, and Maul brutally murders them. They also run into another Inquisitor, the 8th brother, who was hunting Maul. He dies too. Ahsoka and Kanan begrudgingly team up with Maul so that they can help save Ezra, and Maul blinds Kanan. And Darth Vader shows up, and Maul escapes. And Ahsoka sacrifices herself to save everyone by staying behind out of guilt when she cuts Vader's mask open, revealing Anakin underneath. Yes, Rebels did that first. Utterly broken and defeated, the gang returns back to the new Rebel base they found, that's filled with spiders, and Season 2 ends with no hope, happiness, or future for the Rebels. Bummer. So now it's 6 months later, and Ezra had a growth spurt, except for his hair, and he made himself a new lightsaber. He's also massively tapping into the dark side because he's learning from the Sith holocron, which probably is why he's stronger. Why isn't Kanan upset about this, you might ask? Well, it's because he's a mope. until he finds a giant talking tree moose named the Bendu, who claims to be the one in the middle of the Ashla, the light side, and the Bogan, the dark side. He teaches Kanan to stop being a lump, and see, I'm using air quotes, using the Force. So after all that, Kanan's like, I'm back. And he learns about Ezra and the holocron, and he takes the holocron to the Bendu. And then Maul shows up and is like, where's my holocron? And holds the crew hostage until Ezra can get it back from the Bendu. Turns out if you combine a Jedi holocron, which Maul already had, and a Sith one, you could basically ask it any question, and it'll answer it, like an 8-ball. So Ezra agrees to Maul's conditions, and they combine holocrons. Ezra asks about the key to defeating the Empire, and Maul asks something about someone, and both answers are revealed to be twin suns, which neither can really decipher. Maul escapes, and the rebel crew does too. Everyone goes back to normal. Oh wait, they meet Wedge Antilles too. Oh cool, and Rex gets closure for the Clone Wars. And they play the theme. Oh yeah, Thrawn, he's important. He's the new admiral that the Empire has sicked on the rebels. He's blue and sort of respectful to alien cultures. Sort of. He's also really smart and really dangerous. He captures Ryloth and draws Hera out, and captures her and her family heirloom, the Kalikori. Hera manages to escape, but Thrawn's really close to figuring out the location of the hidden rebel base. They also discover Thrawn is heading a new secret project called the TIE Defender, with factories on Lothal. They're faster TIEs with shields and hyperdrives, and could replace the Empire's fighters completely if they're successful, which is not good, because right now the major advantage the rebels have over the Empire is better ships. So while all that is going on, they go to Geonosis and meet Saw Gerrera, and learn that the Geonosians were wiped out to cover something up. Though the last remaining Geonosian tries to draw it for them, they can't quite decipher that. Saw goes all radical and almost kills the last Geonosian, who's trying to protect his egg, but the rebel crew talks him down, and everything's fine. Nothing bad happens to the Geonosians after that. It's time for Maul to show up again and cause trouble. This time, he wants to complete the ritual to figure out what twin suns means, and captures Ezra and brings him to Dathomir. While on Dathomir, hijinks ensue, not important. What is important is that Ezra finds the Darksaber in Maul's hidey hole. And he gives it to Sabine, who's like, this is too much responsibility, I can't be the leader. And then goes to her family, who are stooges for the Empire. She convinces them to rebel, and kills Gar Saxon, and hangs on to the Darksaber, which Kanan trained her to wield. Mon Mothma reveals her treachery to the Empire by giving a speech broadcast around the galaxy to unite the different rebel cells. The Ghost Crew is in charge of protecting her. She's saved, now off to Yavin. Is Season 3 done yet? Nope. We got one of the best episodes of the season. Maul goes to Tatooine after figuring out what twin suns meant, and tricks Ezra into going too so he can draw out Kenobi. Ezra does, like the Dumbo he is, and Obi-Wan saves him like the Dumbo he is. And next thing you know, Maul and Obi-Wan are fighting, and oh, that was quick. Maul's dead. And not before learning why the Force told him the key to defeating the Empire was here. Obi-Wan thinks he's protecting the Chosen One. So now, Thrawn's figured out the location of the hidden rebel base, and sends his fleet to assault. Kanan goes to the Bendu for help, but the Bendu's pissed that he brought the Empire here, and instead elects to kill both sides. Great guy. Ezra asks Mon for help, but she can't. Sad. So he brings Sabine back. The rebels almost die, but the Bendu messes things up on the surface before Thrawn tries to kill him, and the rebels escape in the nick of time thanks to Commander Sato's sacrifice. Oh, sorry, I didn't mention him before. He was pretty important. Now he's dead. Moving on. Season 3 ends with a little bit of hope and a little bit of despair. Getting better. Season 4 starts on Mandalore. Sabine frees her dad from the Empire, but they unleash a new weapon that Sabine helped create. This is the reason everyone hated her. And by the way, everyone hated her, and shunned her, and that's why she was with the rebels. She manages to destroy the weapon with the help of Bo-Katan from the Clone Wars. Sabine also decides to give Bo the Darksaber, claiming her the rightful ruler. She triumphantly unites the Mandalorians against the Empire, and I'm sure that all worked out, right? Oh, wait. Night of a Thousand Tears. Well, that's not in Rebels. Can't talk about that now. Back to Rebels. We got Saw again. He helps the crews stop a shipment of a giant kyber crystal being used for something. He also calls the new Rebel Alliance diaper babies, basically. Ezra feels bad about abandoning Lothal, so he and the crew go back because, surprise, surprise, Mon Mothma can't possibly help liberate the planet. So now the crew is the planet's only hope, and the Empire is messing the place up. Lothwolves start popping up and bugging everyone and teleporting them around and stuff while they try to figure out a plan. Hera is captured. The wolves talk to Kanan, who understands what he must do. The crew come up with an elaborate plan to break her out. Kanan's got her. Yes. And, wow, he got the Kalikori too. That's awesome. They're going to the fuel depot to be picked up. Oh. Yeah. Need a sec. Everyone does. The crew is devastated by Kanan's death. The wolves talk to Ezra and tell him to check out the old Jedi temple on Lothal where he got his Kyber crystal and met Yoda. They find an excavation site. It's this weird mural that moves. Ezra teleports into this weird place. He sees events that happened in the past and hears events that will happen in the future. He sees Ahsoka fighting Vader. He reaches in and pulls her out. Ahsoka calls this place the World Between Worlds, because that's basically what it is. Her and Ezra stop Emperor Palpatine from getting in. Good job, guys. Ahsoka has to go back to her time, though, so goodbye, I guess. And Ezra destroys the temple to keep the Empire away from the place. Thrawn's on his way to Lothal. You see, when Kanan died, they blew up the fuel depot to do it, and that basically dried up all the resources to build the TIE Defenders. So the project is dead. Nice. But Thrawn's pissed. No. Ezra and crew come up with a plan to get rid of the Empire. They're going to lure everyone to the central ball under the guise of an emergency exercise, then launch it into space. The plan is working great, until Thrawn shows up and threatens to bomb the city. Then does. So Ezra leaves his lightsaber with Sabine and goes up to Thrawn's ship. There he meets the Emperor, who's a hologram, and also my grandpa. He offers Ezra his parents, but Ezra lets go of them and rushes to the bridge. He told one of the rebels to broadcast on a special frequency if he's ever captured. So the rebels do, and lo and behold, Ezra's old pals, the space whale, or the Purrgil, show up. Using his connection to animals, Ezra has the Purrgils snatch the fleet. Ezra says goodbye to his family because he has no idea where the Purrgil are going to take him. Everyone tells him to stay, but he tells them this is the only way, and poof, they're gone into hyperspace. Him and Thrawn, never to be seen again. Everyone is bittersweet about the victory. Lothal was freed. Sabine stayed behind out of obligation to Ezra to protect the planet. She understands now what to do, now that the war's over. Hera had a freaky-looking child with Kanan. Nice. Ahsoka shows up in white robes, and her and Sabine go off to do something. I don't know. Anyway, the end. Directed by Dave Filoni. Not really.